So the people we served with in the Philippines, I'm thinking the locals there, the pastors that we were with, the women that were there. I learned about hospitality and just general fellowship, like the community that they had in the Philippines and how they were such a tight-knit group, constantly there for each other. I just came away thinking, wow, I could be such a better Christian if I was just more generous with my time or my money or my food or whatever, because they were so generous with everything they had. I was really challenged to be more like that. One adventure that I remember was actually in the Philippines. I believe we had just put on a youth event, and so all of us leaders, being our team and the young pastors and just leaders in the church, were all like, hey, let's go get some food. And of course we were like, yes, food! We all hop in this van and we're driving, and it's pitch black because it was a nighttime event, and we're driving along for a fair amount of time. It may have been about 30 minutes, and we had no clue where we were going, but we were just having fun. But when we finally pull up into the parking lot, there weren't really any other cars there, and it didn't look like a destination. It looked like just an apartment complex that was kind of boarded up and didn't really have windows, and you couldn't see inside. And I was just curious to where we were going because it didn't look like anything. But we all got out of the van, and all the other locals were super excited, and we climbed up a couple flights of stairs, and finally when we got inside the building, there was like a strip mall type thing of food vendors. It was just a bunch of different restaurants all lined up, and then you had tables in the middle. We just walked up to the window of this one vendor. The locals were like, hey, get us all this. And they just listed off a bunch of foods. We were like, sweet. So we all sat down, and there was a large amount of us because it was all the youth leaders and stuff. And so we just made this big line on a table and started eating food. And one of those foods that I tried was a whole crab. They were like this size, they weren't very big, but it was a whole crab, and it was fried, and like legs and body and everything. You're supposed to just pop it in your mouth. And I did, and it tasted like a chip. Like, it was salty, and it just had that crunchy texture. It was actually really good. I had almost a whole basket full of them. It was a cool adventure because we had no idea where we were going, but it ended up being really fun. My advice would be examine your heart. See if it's something that you are pushing away, or see if it's something you really want to do and maybe you're just scared because of the money. And those two ways, after you examine your heart, then pray about it and then decide.